Think we should be live now. Hello and welcome to the Crypto Knowledge Alliance. It's Jimbo here. Can someone just give me a little message in the chat box if you can hear me and see everything okay? We should be live now. Hello and welcome. Oh, hi there, Keith. Keith Waring, good to have you here, mate. Hi. James, Oklahoma, and Adib. Hi, guys. Welcome along. Thanks for dropping in today and stopping by for the live. We'll have a look at some of the charts, see what sort of shape they're in today, and we'll have a look, see if there's any news that's worth looking at. And if you guys want to have a look at anything, got any recommendations or charts or anything that you want to look at, let me know. Can someone just let me know if the mic's working? Can you hear me all right? Okay, sounds good. Rocco Poco. Okay, thank you very much. Cool. Right. So here's the Bitcoin 4-hour chart. We'll just have a quick look at this. When we left off yesterday, we were sort of thinking that we were going to go on a test between 8,000 and 8,200, or that was how it sort of looked like it was shaping up. Pretty much what's happened. We've gone on, we've tested 8,195 area, been rejected. This is on BitMEX, by the way, guys. XBT-USD. If you don't recognize that, it is Bitcoin. It's just that BitMEX uses a contract swap, and it's called XBT. So that's why I just use this for my tracking of Bitcoin. So yeah, I mean, it still looks like we're in a reasonable uptrend. We're going to want to be coming back down and testing these EMAs some point in the next few candles. It looks like we've got a bit of a not a rejection candle here, but perhaps a reversal candle on this particular wave. We might see it come back down and test the EMAs. Of course, we've still got about 2 hours of this candle left, so it could pick back up, go green, and we could dismiss that it could be a reversal candle. So yeah, I mean, not a bad day for Bitcoin. Let's have a look at the hour chart, see if we can get any more clues from there where we're going. So at the moment, we've got the stochastics pointing back down, which would go align with us potentially having a slight reversal. We've got potential bearish divergence there on the hourly RSI, but when it's just down on the hourly, you know, that can soon turn around when the volume kicks back in. But it is worth noting. Just bear with me one moment. This RSI's stayed open. Okay, I'm just going to have to refresh that. So what's going on out there, guys, today? Let's have a look, see if we've got anyone else in the group. So Rocco Poco, yeah, Mike's working. Adib, all good. Thanks, guys. Tim Gash, hello, everyone. Let's hit the likes for Jimbo. Oh, thanks, Tim. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, if you are here and you are listening, if you could give us a like. And if you're not subscribed, it's only going to help my channel grow. That'd be excellent if you could go ahead and do that. So yeah, back to the charts now. We've dropped that RSI off. So yeah, I think we can dismiss slightly this bearish divergence because it is on the 1 hour chart. What a time for my laptop to freeze. Oh. Okay, here we go. So yeah, as you can see, a bearish divergence is represented by a lower RSI spike. It's something worth watching for, and it also is backed up when you have a higher high and a lower high on the RSI. So a higher high in price and a lower high in the RSI. I can just draw those lines. And again, you know, this is only a small one. You're usually looking for it on bigger time frames and more prominent. But if you do take anything from them, you can point them out when they're big or small. So you can see there we've got the price moving upwards, and we've got the RSI topping out lower than previously. So worth having a look for on the hourly time frame that we might have seen a little bit of a top here. But pretty much went the way we sort of were discussing yesterday in the channel. See what else we've got. Stephen King. Good evening, Jimbo. Hi, Stephen. Welcome along. Men in Black Abyss had a nice pump last night. 50% market cap increase. Yeah, absolutely. Really nice. We were talking yesterday about Abyss. We mentioned it briefly, sort of had a little intro into it being a gaming platform. And that there was some news yesterday that they partnered with Epic Games. So I guess perhaps that could be a result of that. Let's have a quick look, just jump over to CoinGecko and have a look at Abyss, see if we can have a look at the market cap size now and see how that's shaping up. So there we go. We're up 37% currently on 24-hour period. I imagine we've had higher spikes today. Been up all the way up as high as about 204 and back down now at 189. So seeing some nice gains there today, up from 133. So yeah, that's pretty nice gain on the day. Let's have a look at the USD value market cap. $3.6 million. Still pretty low. Very interesting. I'm a little worried to sell though, given how thin the order books are to buy back in. Yeah, I've been in that position also myself before. They're Men in Black, where you're having a look at it and you're thinking, oh, I think this one's going to do really good in the future. I'm tempted to trade to try and accumulate more, but then you look at the order books and the liquidity isn't quite there for what you need, and you think, well, if I sell here, am I going to be able to buy back in easily? It's it's easy to get caught like that. You also have sometimes on the inverse of that, you can end up in a position in a token. You can look to buy in on a low cap, and then you go into the market book. There's such little liquidity, such little market depth that you just can't even buy in without moving the market 20-30%. Sometimes on these low caps, even just half a Bitcoin, 0.1 Bitcoin or something like that, you slap the order in and you see the market cap jump. And yeah, it's a catch-22, I guess. Sorry if I sound a little bit sort of coarse in the throat today, guys. I've got a little bit of a cough going on, but I'll get over it, I'm sure. Tim Gash, I'm loving the 15% Litecoin pump today. That's about 99% of what I'm mining right now. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Yeah, Tim is someone who does some mining for himself, and yeah, it's great work there, Tim. Mining Litecoin, that's nice. You see the price go up. Let's have a look at the chart and see how that reflects. I wonder if that's against Bitcoin or against USD. Possibly more likely USD, but let's have a look. Well, I've got 11% up on Binance currently. Oh, I see. Yeah, and we've got this the top wick there. Oh yeah, it's a nice breakout. Now this is interesting to see. This is interesting to see Litecoin breaking out, because, and I'm not saying that this is a sure. I'm not saying that I believe this for sure, but there have been instances where Litecoin has pushed and it's actually led the market. And you could actually, I'm not saying that there's a cause effect relationship, sorry, but Litecoin was the earliest thing to really move big time this year. Really, even before Bitcoin. If we pan out a little bit, go to the macro. Oh, it's a nice candle on the daily. So you can see here, from mid-December, we were gaining and gaining fast. So if we just have a look at this price difference, so say at 12th of December to the 12th of February, we had an 88% gain in Litecoin against Bitcoin. Maybe I should have done this against USD. Perhaps I'll go back and check it against USD as well. But let's go back to XBT and check the same time period and see. I'll have to do Litecoin against USD, not Bitcoin. We'll do that in a moment. Thanks. Okay. My trading view is really lagging today. I don't know if anyone else has had that problem. So we can see where we were on the 12th of December. See, we did, if that's the 14th, but it's close enough to the 12th of Feb, and you can see we're only up 60%. We had raised higher. We had raised higher in that period, but we were only about 16.5% up against USD. So let's then check Litecoin at the same time period. I think what you'll see is that Litecoin had quite a nice rise in that time period before. You can see, previous peak from this period up 330%. That's something I've left there previous. So 12th, 13th of December, drag it down, across to mid-Feb, 12th of Feb, where is it? There you go, almost 100%. So you can see that Litecoin moved. Interesting to watch. I'm not saying that this, large one-day candle is a sure green light that Bitcoin's about to move. I'm just saying that, you know, if you look at the historic data in this particular year, Litecoin has tended to move before Bitcoin, and we have had Bitcoin then chase it. So it'd be interesting to see if we get a Bitcoin breakout following the Litecoin breakout. That'd be really nice, wouldn't it? We are testing 8,100, that 8,200 zone, and we've got that same pattern here. You know, you've got, there's so many touches on this top, that it's one of those situations where it's like a boiling kettle, where if it does break the line which failed to line, if it does break the line that it's failed to previously, it's likely to do so with strong volume and push up. Let's wait and see. Let's see what else is going on in the chat. With mining, I always look at USD as I'm cashing out and buying more miners. Yeah, well, that's excellent, Tim. Reinvesting in your primary wet source of cryptocurrency. That's excellent. Man in Black, what was the website you used to chart FXSC yesterday? Oh yeah, that would be here it is, charts.cointrader.pro. It's a free to use service. You just go on there and you can search tons of charts. In fact, they've got, you know, loads. But as I said yesterday, the only issue that I have with it, slight issue that I have with it, is that it can be a bit slow. It's not, you know, TradingView is pretty much completely live, whereas charts.cointrader can lag behind a little bit. But that's the one. Yes. So what else is going on? Let's have a quick look over at CoinMarketCap. You guys, if you've got any charts that you want to have a look at, let me know. If you've got any news that you want to shout out, let me know. Any discussion points, just pop it down there in the chat box. I'd be happy to have a look and discuss those with you guys. Also, you know, if you haven't done, give us a like, please. That'd be really appreciated. And if you're not already subscribed, have subscribe, and then you can come get involved in more of these when we do them again. Excellent stuff. So CoinMarketCap. So if we having a look against top 100 against the US dollar, we've got some nice movement there. Litecoin is sticking out. That's nice. EOS moving 8.5%. We're obviously in the shadows of what we're being told is a big announcement on June the 1st. We have heard some rumors about what that could be, but nothing with enough concrete support to say that it's believed to be this, that, or the other. I'm really sorry about my throat. Just give me one moment. I'm just going to have a sip of water. Okay, that's a bit better. Right now, Bitcoin SV down 1.23%. I wonder if that's the only red on the top 100. USD stable. AOR up 138%. Wow, that's nice. 1.2 million volume. That seems like a low volume, high price increase, doesn't it? For a market cap of 290 million. What? Let's see if it shows us a market. I wonder if it's just an outlier, a price that's. Yeah, see, look, we're showing up here. We're showing 4 cents, but not looking at 4 cents on any of those exchanges. So I guess it must just be a mistake. Maringer message retracted. Throw some honey in there. Oh yeah, for my throat. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'll give it a try later on. Yeah. No party in the castle, but can we have a big party to celebrate? Treasonous Theresa May going. Yeah. Well, I don't want to talk politics too much. One thing I will say is that I was disappointed to hear that it's going to be in June that she's she's going to be resigning. I think she just did that to avoid all of the end of May jokes. You know, who knows? Man in Black. Wow, that looks manipulated or a glitch. Yeah, I think it's a glitch. It looks like a glitch. Yeah. So the price is excluded on the main volume exchange here, Byte BTC, 43% of the volume, but it's not even like that's the one that's affecting the price. So it is what it is. Uh, what else have we got moving? TrueSD. So the stable's in the red. Ravens down in the red against US dollar. Verge, Zilliqa, another stable. So a majority of the alts are showing green at the moment against US dollar. Obviously, that's only one view of the market. If you're trading to accumulate Bitcoin, you're probably more interested in looking at how they're faring up against Bitcoin. And again, Litecoin standing out as a nice gainer. Why don't we have a look at the gains and losers on the day? So obviously we can dismiss that one. We've already looked into that. Big gainer on the day, Theta Fuel. This is absolutely storming. 92% gains on $266 million volume. That is really pushing on. Congratulations to anyone holding any Theta Fuel. Snapcoin stands out for me only because I've been in the Telegram group for a little while, just sort of monitoring things. I think the app that they're trying to develop is called Snapperazzi. I'm not I'm not going to go ahead and say that I think it's a sure thing winner, but it's maybe worth doing a little bit of research on to see if they may be successful in launching that. Obviously, it's had a bit of good price action today, so if you were looking to get in, maybe today certainly isn't the best day. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. Remember that, guys. I'm not giving financial or legal advice. It's just me, Jimbo. I'm calling the market as I see it, and we are discussing crypto in a respectful, clean manner. And if you're not part of our Telegram group, which I imagine most of the people who are in here already are, the link's in the description. Come and get involved. We discuss cryptocurrency pretty much all the time. Great group of folks in there. Lots of people who know their stuff. So come and get involved. Any thoughts, Man in Black? Any thoughts on margin trading? I personally don't touch it, but don't really know enough about it. Well, okay, so I can only obviously give you my own perspective. Here's my position. I have margin traded before on the well-known exchange BitMEX. Varied success. I don't do it so much anymore unless I'm confident of a move in Bitcoin, which it's becoming more uncertain, but I did play with it for a little while with a few leverage trades, and I had varied success. I would say that it's probably not the what you need to go to if you don't have a lot of experience of it and knowledge of it. Of course, you can go and learn about it and how to trade on there, because if you can trade successfully, you can earn money. But BitMEX and margin trade in a whole, I mean, all you have to do is look at the Bitcoin chart. I'm really sorry about my throat. All you have to do is look at the Bitcoin chart, that candle there, that wick, and say, do I really want to be trading this asset with leverage trading when swings like this can happen, unpredictable swings like this can happen? We assumed there might be a downturn. No one would have expected, that, because it seems, and I can't say this with saying that I know, but it seems like it was manipulated. So that's what you have to think about with margin trading: is do you although it can be very profitable, do you really want to get involved in margin trading something when you could lose potentially a lot of money? And also the other thing is with BitMEX, they've got problems like overload issues. Now you can enter a position, you can be sat there, you can have your eye on it and be watching it live, and all of a sudden the price can start moving, and very often you can do very little to get out of your positions because of this overload that comes in. Too many people are using it or whatever, and if you're happy with what you're doing, there's no need to look elsewhere, would be my opinion. But of course, there are plenty of tutorials and stuff on YouTube which will help you navigate those platforms if you choose to do so. So just have a quick look here, just looking at the Bitcoin chart, right? We've got this horizontal line that I just popped in there a moment ago. And all that line is just this, where our candles fail to close above. And we settled these wicks. Now, as I said, I think if we break above this line, and we've literally bounced straight back off it here, again, you can see the wick touching there again. I think if we break above this line, we start to move quickly, right? And that, combined with the fact that the stochastic RSI is turning not quite on the daily, but very close to turning back over to bullish, I think it would be hard to argue that we could really be ready for another leg up. It's not potentially what I anticipated, but I also didn't anticipate back here this it was almost 25% or something like that. We were looking for a retracement in Bitcoin. We assumed it would be a natural one. What we saw instead was a very much forced retracement. And in reality, it did actually come down a long way. It did retrace a long way. It just didn't last a long time down there. The buying pressure got it back up very quickly. There's a few bullish signs on this chart. I'm not saying I'm 100% bullish right now, because I'm not 100% bullish. I'm just saying that there are some things here to watch that could, potentially see Bitcoin pop. I'd be watching this line around 8,200 anyway. Certainly, that's the BitMEX chart showing at 8,200. If we break that, things could get interesting, especially if we close above it. Okay, so let's have a look, see if we've got something going on in the chat box. Fun is pretty much at all-time low. I like this coin to trade in and out of. Yeah, I haven't looked at Fun for a while. Let's get that up on the chart and have a look. 4.8% down the day. Cool. Trading views showing the order book is weighted towards sell. Whoa. Oh man. Well, it's not the prettiest of charts in the macro scale, for sure. That is a downwards chart. So it certainly is a downwards chart. You've got to look that this recent low here on the 10th of May is our all-time low, but I think by the looks of it, or certainly as far as this chart's showing me back, that's our all-time low. I set only 2 weeks ago at 68. So there's a couple of things that could play out. We could be setting a local bottom, and by the looks of the way the stochastics are set up, we're either going to see a push straight up, but we're failing the EMAs. It looks like we're getting rejected here. I think I wouldn't enter a trade on this right now, personally. But again, it's not legal or financial advice. Unless you're thinking really long term. If you think fundamentally, but that's, investments and trades are different. Investments and trades are different. And also, I would say for who was it? Tim, if you're having success trading this, then excellent. That's, I'm not going to say that's wrong. In fact, there have been some really nice trades here. If you'd have got in here if you had got in there at that bottom, 30% gains, 29% gains. Lick Moringa. Sorry, I did see that one already. Wow, yeah. Any thoughts on Marvin trading? Oh, I think I jumped back. To apologise about that, guys. Matt the Carpenter. Hi Jim. Sorry, just joined the chat. Hi Matt. Great to have you here. Matt is one of the admins from our Telegram group. Does a great job communicating with everyone, and he's an admin, but there isn't a lot of admin work to do because we don't have foul language or people being disrespectful to each other anyway. So it's always handy. It makes an admin's job easy if the community is nice, and we've got a nice community. I'm keeping an eye on Funfair. Sorry, yeah, I just saw that one. Do you think it's due a pump? Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, on the daily chart, it doesn't look amazing. 3-day looks a little bit better, but you've got the stochastics starting to curve back down. I'm not seeing anything that would make me immediately jump into it, although it is very close to an all-time low. It's just not showing me enough yet that would make me immediately say, yeah, I really want to get into this. But don't let that stop you. I'm not telling you what to buy or sell or anything like that. That's completely on you. Sorry, I'm just going to have another little sip of water. Any other things that you want to look at, guys? Just pop them down there in the chat, and I'll make sure I can try and do my best to have a look at those. Okay, so another thing I like to do on CoinMarketCap, which I found useful in the past, is to keep an eye on the recently added coins. Now, I found a few good positions doing this. Oh, look at that. That must have gone, yeah, look, today. Reserve Rights has made it onto CoinMarketCap, still without its circulating supply, but we can get that on CoinGecko. But yeah, it's nice to keep an eye on the things that that have just come onto the market, because you can look at see which ones have got high volume price swings, something to potentially draw your attention to. Obviously, as you can see on this particular list, reserve rights with $63 million worth of. Oh no, it's not OKB. OKB is 24 days old though, and that's if you know, I think that's the token of the OKX exchange. Matic down 16% on the day, still huge volume. But yeah, reserve rights token with a nice bit of volume. It has, I think the price has come down today. Tim Gas says he's keeping an eye on the Renkos. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Tim. Renko charts. I don't think I've got the low time increment Renkos on this TradingView account, but you can use the 1 day anyway, can't you? So I mean, you have a look at that on the 1 day Funfair Renkos. It's just grim at the moment, but that doesn't mean it won't turn around. I don't know if XBT will work on Renkos. I can't see why it wouldn't. Well, Bitcoin looks a bit nicer. You can see pushing the top of the stochastic RSI there. Any thoughts on Met and Ren? Yeah, I'll have a look at those for you in a moment. Yeah, we're going to have a look at those. Just before I do that, I just want to show you guys something. Okay, so I've been discussing this in the group for a while now. Some of you guys are a bit newer than others, so that's fine. I just wanted to bring it up and say, when I said to you earlier that I wasn't completely bullish, even though I'm seeing bullish signs, I want to explain one of the macro reasons that makes me think that we could still be in due a further retracement. Okay, so this is the weekly stochastic RSI, and as you can see, at the moment, we are super bullish. If I take us to a different chart, I'll go to Bitfinex. It has more history, so it's a little bit better to view this on. BLX is even better. Brave New Coin, if you don't know what that is, it's an index for Bitcoin. But yeah, as you can see, weekly stochastic RSI, it's not just in the super bullish zone right now. As far as the Bitfinex chart goes back into 2014, 2013, right? Not at any point has Bitcoin sustained within this 100 and 100 zone. What are we at? 99 and 98 on the stochastic RSI at the moment, right? And look how long we've been in up here in this zone. Rare, you don't see this across the chart very often. You can see these periods, but even here, where we stayed up here for quite a long time during 2016, we weren't all the way flat out at the top like we are now. Now, the other reason that I'm drawing your attention to this is because every single time that well, not every single time, but on many occasions, having broken down from the top of the stochastic RSI, we've seen large retracements. 35% is sort of the average. I think I was working out, not perfect average, but there's one here. So let's have a look at this depth. Is it the 5th June 2017? And you take it from the top, bring it down to where it bottomed. The chart scaling is not very good, but so 38% there. Obviously, that's the 2018 fall from the top. We'll discount that for the moment, but you know how big that fall was, so I don't really need to shout you that fall back out. But here again, look, spent some time right up at the top, and then when we finally did top out and come down, we saw another 36% drop. So what I'm trying to show to you guys here is that whilst at the moment the momentum is very bullish on the weekly time frame and some of the smaller time frames, to be fair, there's a chance that in the not so distant future, this momentum indicator is going to turn and we're going to start to have the momentum coming down. You can see that the weekly RSI is already showing tipping down at the moment. Perhaps we're going to see another retracement besides that 20-odd% drop that we saw from what we believe to be manipulation. Okay, so Met and Ren. Let's have a quick look. No problem. Matt, do you prefer to use TradingView for TA? I can't get on with it. Coinigy is great compared. Yeah, I like Coinigy as well, Matt. I actually like both. Day to day, I personally tend to use TradingView, but that's not particularly out of preference. I would say just that's just what I've been used to doing. It's just sort of become second nature, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I understand Coinigy is quite easy to use. So Metronome, let's go in and have a look at the chart. Weekly's probably a bit wide for an alt at the moment. Oh, okay. Let's scan out a little bit more and see what we can see. Oh, that candle really ruins the scaling. Okay, so might come down to 12-hour, get a better picture of this. I think that there's still potential for this to come down lower. Personally, not financial advice. Although it's at a quite a pivotal moment. If from my first glance, it's only a first glance, of course. Quick glance over it. But I'd want to see 16450 hold. You can see that we've got several candles that wicked below there, but bounce back up. I'd want to see that hold as support. If it doesn't hold as support, then you really want to see 1-4, well, about 1-4 hold. That you'd really want to see that hold. Next couple of days, candles are going to be pretty imperative. If I was personally trading this, I would have a very tight stop loss. Probably, yeah, I'd have a tight stop loss. Anyway. I don't know much about the project, unfortunately, so I don't want to say too much. I will look into it and give you my views and opinions once I have done that. Trend on Binance. If this again, Men in Black, if you're looking like short trade, wouldn't be getting any on this. Not financial advice, but not yet. Trying to catch a falling knife there from my perspective. You just don't. Well, I mean, when's that gonna? Where's the support for that? I'd want to see it turn around. Really, I'd want to see that turn around personally. So that's Ren. Lick Moringa. Views on EOS, please. Yeah, sure. So okay, well, I think talking fundamentally, I think it has very good potential. I think that you can look, Ren is dropping right now. I think fundamentally EOS is a super strong project. I think that it's really, if you don't have much knowledge about the project, I suggest you go and do some reading up on it. Exciting developments to come. I don't want to speculate too much about what the news could be coming on the 1st of June, but there is rumors that it could be some sort of partnership, or Facebook could be launching their coin on EOS. I don't know if that's true or not yet. That's completely, it's just speculative news that's going around. But I do like EOS for the long run. For me, it's a long-term top 5 competitor for me if they get things right. Chart looks nice. The chart looks nice. Yeah, I think that I'd be looking at this thinking, can I get an entry? Looks like it may have set itself a bottom there, local bottom. There's a lot of support in that zone where we dropped down to. What a buying opportunity that was at 7,000. What buying opportunity that was. Excellent. If anyone traded that, well done. But yeah, high level of, so you can see it's acted as resistance over time. Huge price time spent in this price zone, which means a huge amount of volume there. Huge amount of buys and sells in that zone leads it to it being a high price node. which suggests there's a high support and resistance there. So bouncing off this, quite a good sign. If we keep pushing up, it's very bullish. And what also is very, even if we were to drop back down, if we were to bounce another time off this line and then push back up again, that's pretty bullish as well. So I like the look of EOS personally. Just my opinion. Okay, what else we got going on? Oh, CYT Crypto. Hey, Jimbo. Hi there, Steve. Yeah, it's great to have you along, mate. Steve is also a YouTube content creator. He makes some absolutely excellent content. If you haven't checked him out, I suggest you have a click on there, go over to his channel and hit subscribe and check his videos out as well, because he does a weekday morning live, UK weekday morning live, and it is really top draw. Does the news reviews and charts and stuff. Excellent stuff. Go and check him out. Hello to you, Steve. Men in Black, sweet, thanks. BTC is spiking $20. Yeah, yeah. I remember when we were back at the beginning of the year and we spent all that time trading at 3,000. That was kind of like the excitement. And then look, the month of May and April and May have been good to us. We've learned about volatility again. I mean, literally, we hit 4,000, and then on April 1st. Yeah, April 2nd was the 18. Was it 18.5% that day? April 2nd. Even the candles wick was even higher. We closed up at 16.5. The candle wick was 24%. You know, that kicked off April, didn't it? And now we are back to volatility. Question is, are we about to see Bitcoin break out of this formation and push on past the 8,200 line and keep on setting up new yearly highs? Well, we'll have to wait and see, guys. There is a chance, but don't bank on it till we see breakout. Matt the Carpenter, we need a CYT CKA collab video. Yes. Men in Black +1. Deeb agreed. Debbie Claydon. Hi, Jim. Hi, Debbie. Nice to have you here. Welcome along. CYT at Matt Carpenter. Yes, in the works. Yes, Matt. Hopefully it will be awesome. We're working on something quietly. Sure. You guys in the Telegram groups will be the first people to know when we start moving on that. But yeah, so if there's anything else you guys want me to have a look at whilst we're here, pop it down there in the chat box. I'll probably go for another 10 minutes or so, depending on how many questions we get in. So yeah, if there's anything else, just pop it down there. If not, we will have a quick look across and see if there's anything moving now in the market whilst I scan down. Over the last couple of days, we've seen on a couple of occasions, you know, you scroll through the list once and there's no movement, and you scroll back through 5 minutes later and something's up 40%. So I'm finding myself in a bit of habit of doing that at the moment. Right now, seeing NGUSD up 15%. Bitfinex chart, though. I'm something about the Bitfinex charts. I'm not a huge fan of using them, to be honest. I try and, well, certainly not on TradingView. They seem to just say, look, NGBTC is down 5%. Not sure what that's about. Okay, so what have we got going on? Steve, CYT, have you mentioned Binance already? What do you think? $100 coming soon. You know what, Steve? I think you could very well be right, my friend. I cannot see anything except a serious hack, breach, security issue, or law case slowing Binance down. And I mean that. They were hacked last month for 40 million, was it? 40 million. Doesn't look like it in the chart, does it? Great resilience by this team. Great work to get the crypto community buzzing. They've been doing it now since they started. They've really pushed on step by step. I can't see why that won't continue. Adding margin trading to their platform, creating Binance Chain, creating the decentralized exchange. They're linking with projects here, there, and everywhere for the betterment of their blockchain. And it's exciting times. It really is exciting times. And I would have to say that for me trickles down also to all of the projects that are now associating themselves so tightly with Binance. All is a strong word, but I would suggest that the majority of the projects which are aligning themselves with the Binance chain are going to have success on the way up with this. Do I see Binance becoming $100 coin, Steve? In all honesty, yes, I do. When will it happen? Not just yet, I don't think. We broke this line, this resistance line here at 26.80, about 26.5, whenever it was. And we're really pushing up. Don't get me wrong. It's really great to see. And it doesn't take a lot for Binance to get there. What we need to see happen, for me, in my opinion, what we need to see happen for Binance coin to be worth $100 is we need to see Bitcoin surpass, I would say, $15,000, and Binance do to continue on its trajectory against BTC. I think if those sort of things align and BNB keeps on gaining against BTC, and we see BTC come up to 15,000 zone, I think then we're talking the potential for $100 Binance coin. And in fairness to CZ, it would be well deserved. So I hope that helps. Do you think Loopring has bottomed out? Let's have a look. Oh, that's a really interesting question, Man in Black. I'll get to that in one moment. Stephen King, LRC keeps getting my hopes up, then it dumps, keep falling for it. Yeah. Yeah, I know that feeling. Sorry, I need to start, when I leave a chart, I need to start leaving the chart. I don't delete all my drawing tools. I come back and they're always so clustered. Okay, so Loopring. There's a lot of support there. There's a lot of support there, I'll give you that. Let's overlay if you guys haven't seen this before, it's the visible range. Let me just close down an indicator. There's so many. Close that for now. So if you guys haven't seen this indicator before, it's the visible range volume profile. Okay, so what does it do? It shows us where the high volume nodes of price action happens. Essentially, it is where you have a vertical volume chart, which you're used to seeing, which shows you the time periods and how much volume happened in a time period. Well, this works similarly, but it shows you the volume nodes across the price ranges. And look at that. We can see our highest volume node in that particular range is up here. You can see, and it makes sense, right? Because you can see how much price action happens along that line. We have a lot of support at this area. I would say we are just below it, so I'd want to break that line. That would be my answer for you. Who was that? Man in Black. Yes, that would be my answer to you. We are testing a key support resistance zone. Now, I would want to see us break back through and flip this back into support, because at the moment it's acting as resistance. We do that, and then I start getting interested because we're back in an accumulation phase. Remember, price likes to move, tends to move from low volume nodes towards high volume nodes. This is because this is where people have psychological levels. If they've bought and sold at these levels, they're more likely to buy and sell at those levels, is the theory, as I understand it. Okay, so I remember when I first learned about VPVR, what I was told was the best thing that you want to do is buy on low volume nodes and sell on high, because the price should be attracted to them, is the theory. But anyway, sorry, that digressed a little bit there. But yes, Loopring looks interesting. Excellent. Hi, guys. A couple of new people here come along. So thanks very much for getting involved, guys. If you can, just give us a like or subscribe if you haven't. That'd be excellent. Let's just have a look through these comments. Man in Black, how big of a eng pump do you think we'll see? Yeah, this was the question. Well, I think eng is one of my absolute favorite tokens of the year. I think it was back. I think I first bought it back a year or maybe more ago when it was. I think it was on Bancor. If I'm not mistaken, it was on Bancor, and yeah, I've loved it. absolutely love this token. I think what they're doing is really progressive. They found an industry where blockchain is really suitable as a use case. Not only have they done so, they've also found a use case which I personally believe adoption can be birthed from. Right now, it's tangential here, but for the blockchain and cryptocurrency to become mainstream, it needs to be adopted by people, all age groups, right? But one way that you focus on developing the future is having the young mindset change towards just it being part of it. And I think I had this in the conversation I had with Steve when we met in person. I said, if you go on to Fortnite now, the people who are playing these games, they don't spend pounds. They buy V-Bucks or game tokens or whatever. These aren't cryptocurrencies. They are currencies that are digital, but they're not cryptocurrencies. You couldn't send it to someone else like we can with Bitcoin or something like that. They're not cryptographic. They don't work on a blockchain, but they are digital currencies. People are getting more used to spending in-game tokens, moving towards that tokenization period. And like Engine Craft, going up, getting a partnership with Minecraft and doing what they're doing is brilliant. You know, putting all the in-game items on the blockchain and giving them values and stuff like that. I can just see it being a success. And if they're going to be, if they're going to integrate with the Binance Dex, that is, you know, excellent. I guess that's the Engine wallet, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry. Yes, that caught up with it. Yeah. It's going to be very good for them, definitely. CZ. Oh, how American are you, Jimbo? I'm not American. Actually, I'm English. But yeah, CZ. Why not? What are your thoughts on Litecoin for over the weekend, Debbie? I'll have a look at that in watch one moment. Guys, I'll tell you that'd be an interesting question. Tell me where you're tuning in from. I'd be interested to know. That'd be cool to see where you guys are listening to from. What are your thoughts on Litecoin? Yeah, it's to one moment. I agree with Stephen. LRC is a big hold with no joy. Yeah. It's like dragging a bag, isn't it? Check out the Howdo price, makes me warm inside. Yeah, I'll get to that in just one moment. Let's have a quick look at Litecoin. Going on a little bit here, guys, but you're sticking with me, some of you, so we will keep cracking on. I am going to have a look at it against USD because it can be directly traded against USD on things like Coinbase. That's when I tend to do my differentiation between what I look at. If it can be traded against fiat, I tend to look at it against fiat. So Ethereum, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, for example, I tend to look at in USD. Obviously, I'm trying to accumulate Bitcoin, but if it can be traded against USD on its own, I look at that chart. So Debbie asked for over the weekend thoughts. Now, Debbie, I would say, as we stand right now, I think Litecoin could break out. Personal opinion, not financial or legal advice, as always. But I see us pushing back up. The stochastic RSI is just turning bullish. I would want, here's something to look for. Daily RSI, okay, we do have the bearish divergence there, okay? So that is keen to watch, but it's not confirmed until you break down from it. If you look, we also have an increasing support line that we can draw in there. So Debbie, if you can see this, perhaps draw these lines over the RSI. Have a watch on this zone. My personal opinion, we're at least going to go and test this resistance line here on the RSI. Where that stops us out, I'm not sure. I believe if we break above this resistance line, then we'll see an increase in price as well. Because I think that push will have taken us above these candle closes and 107, and that will push us up higher. And as you can see, we're discussing about the high volume, low volume nodes. Well, let's have a look at some high volume nodes and see if it does break out, where are we likely to go to? Immediately, we can see that there's a high volume node up here at 118. I'll get rid of that line so you can see it again. You see how we have the spike in volume here? So I'd be looking to there. If we broke past this resistance line, I'd be looking to see if we went to test 118 to 120 zone. However, we could be rejected off that resistance line. And if so, let's draw in the price support and see where we're likely to test in that situation. if we were to be rejected in the next day or so off this resistance line and come back down, I'd be looking at this price support line here as a point that I want to see support for the price. I hope that's useful. Check out the Howdo price. Yeah, let's have a quick look at Howdo. Yeah, guys, if Howdo should be launching, I believe, within the next month publicly. If you haven't checked them out, it's really worth having a look at. I personally, I really like them. I will be launching a channel on there as well, up 20% on the day. That's what we like to see. What we're doing against Bitcoin, up to 282 Satoshis. That's nice to see. Yeah, really interesting project, guys. I highly suggest you come and check this out. New era of social media potentially on the horizon, and potentially Howdo could be one of the leaders in that movement. It makes me warm inside too, Matt, by the way. Men in Black, thanks. I'm out now, but it was one of my first big wins and feeling nostalgic. Eng is my biggest hold, 100% agree. Hearing you talk about the Fortnite dollars has me really hoping that Abyss is used in place of that soon. You just never know. Just never know, right? If Epic Tokens announced that the Abyss token was the replacement for V-Bucks, could be very exciting. They actually, do you know what? I'm going to search this right now. Fortnite net income. I don't know if we'll even better find this, but let's have a look, right? Fortnite's creator made $7 billion this year. Now, I'm not going to say Epic Games raking $3 billion in profit. There would have been advertising and stuff like this, and they run their competitions and stuff as well. But this game is free to download, right? A majority of this money is people buying the V-Bucks and selling buying additions for their avatars on the game, right? So you can change your person, you can buy them new equipment. It doesn't actually have any impact on your game performance, but you can buy them. So about $1.5 million per day just on iOS. So make of that what you will. That Abyss are partnered with them. Not a bad person to say you're partnering with Epic Games. Could be like buying Eng at 1 cent. It could be. It could be. CYT Steve has been talking about Abyss for it as well. Matt, I'm turning in while in the bath. I'm turning in. If you've gone, Matt, no problem. See you later, mate. West Midlands. Oh, yeah, West Midlands, Adib. Oh, of course, I asked what time. Sorry, where you were tuning in from. Stephen King, Tropical Wigan. Yeah, Tropical. Oklahoma, USA. James. Caracas, Venezuela. Lick Moringa. Well, that's really interesting. From Venezuela. That's awesome. Mitch Diet, South Africa. Natasha Sakamoto, Antwerp, Belgium. Oh, excellent. So we've got people all around the world. That's really cool. Shiny chef. I don't get that. Maybe I missed something. I've still got my Howdo locked in. Oh, God. I almost said the exchange name there, Adib. It feels like a swear word to me at this point. Yeah, not good. Well, I would suggest that you stay in touch with the other people within the Howdo Telegram group, because there are some very angry people who have had a lot of money. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a hack on Coinbean, and basically a load of UDO tokens moved off the exchange to some wallet, and long story short, it got sent back to the contract and burnt forever. So they don't actually exist anymore, but Coinbean is still showing the balances. It's a real mess. It's a real mess. I think from my last understanding of the situation that Howdo was still talking to Coinbean, but they'd reassured people who'd lost their tokens that if they weren't financially reinstated by Coinbean themselves, that once Howdo switch over to their own blockchain, they will essentially mint those tokens and return them to their original owners. So at least they've. That's another thing that I find really positive about Howdo, is that they've actually found a relatively good resolution to that issue. I was saying about Binance. I know there's a different scale of things, but Binance dealt with their hack nice and quickly, and people, they looked to that and think, "Well, that's nice reactive work." Howdo are making a conscious effort to deal with Coinbean and assure their token holders. I would retire, but keep watching your videos. Yeah. I wish I could retire. But I do like making these videos, so more to come. Yeah, Matt, terrible situation, Deep. Feel for you, mate. Yeah, I feel for you as well there, Deep. Thanks, Matt. Keeping my fingers crossed. I'm tuning in, not turning in. Still in the bath, though. Okay. Could say, goodness gracious me. So when talking about Coinbean, yeah. There's a lot of words that you could use when talking about Coinbean Lick, but I try to refuse to use those words on live streams, even in the Telegram group. Right, guys, I'll give you 2 more minutes to get any more questions in. If not, I am going to close up on the hour. Whilst I wait to see if anything else comes through, let's just have a quick look and see if we've got any new news coming out. So we've seen this story today. If you're in the group, the Winklevoss twins in talk with Facebook, potentially Gemini to launch the global coin. Super interesting, especially if for some of the people in the group, we talk about Flexacoin, which is a token that we're interested in, and it seems like the Winklevoss brothers may have had a hand in that project. Not potentially, they weren't involved in starting it, but I think they're interested investors and stuff like that. So nice to see. Nice to see that they're linking up potentially with Facebook as well. Nothing concrete, I don't believe yet. AT&T now accept crypto payments via BitPay. Quite exciting news there as well. Seeing adoption. You know, I'm all about adoption. One day I'm going to do a video about aggregate efficiency and the third industrial revolution and bore you all. CYT hard fork, not quite. No, not quite. Yeah, not quite. Love being part of the CYT community. It's brilliant, and Steve's taught me a lot, and now I'm just seeing if I can make a few little videos myself and help to share knowledge and gain more experience in the space, really, you know. So not quite a hard fork. Lick Buckfast or Iron Brew. Both. Steve jumped in just before the end and said, I know you love XRP. What do you think of XRP and where it's heading? Let's fit it in for you, Steve, before the end. Yeah, me and Steve have running conversations about XRP. I'm not a hater by any means. I think that what they're achieving as Ripple as the company is quite brilliant. If the networks they're putting in place are real, then what they're doing is quite fantastic. My issue, say issue is a strong word. My position with XRP is I'm no Bitcoin maximalist, but I'm in love with the idea of moving away from a centralized system. But I also am not naive enough to think that we won't see some transition between the two. So although I'm not a huge fan of the project, I think it's going to do very well in the long run. Against USD coming down at the moment, stochastics. RSI bounced on 50, which is always nice to see. So if the RSI does on the USD stays again above 50, that would be nice to see on the daily. That would signal some bullish movement if we started pushing back up. Let's have a look against BTC because I think that's probably what Steve's more interested in. Down 0.5% on the day. Oh. Excluding all fundamentals, because I have to say that when I'm looking at charts, because you cannot account for fundamentals in a charting analysis, really. If they came out this weekend and said that they had the world's biggest partnership, it's going to skyrocket, no one's going to know what to do or be expecting it. Strictly from a TA standpoint, on the daily chart against Bitcoin, I would say it's not looking hugely strong. We're pointing downwards on the daily time frame. Let's see if any of the lower time frames are looking more positive. 4 hours creeping up. No real strength back in this move. We're coming down. There's one chart that excites me for Ripple. I won't I won't hide that for a moment. And it's this one, the weekly chart. That's what I would say. Draw positives. This weekly chart, although the RSI is ticking down, but obviously remember that the RSI is a live indicator, so that's not quite unexpected. Stochastic RSI is turning back up off the weekly, and that is interesting for me. You historically see gains, but as you can see, it doesn't always work out. If you get rejected here towards the 20, that can see you retrace further. But as we back at this support line that we've been talking about now for a few weeks, you know, have we seen a bottom? We've got this nice green candle here, pretty much bang straight on that support line. So potentially we've seen a bottom. Doesn't mean we might not touch it again before pushing on upwards, but I'm sure from my standpoint that there is more value to come for XRP. Great show, Jimbo. Going from strength to strength. Bring on the collab. Thank you very much, Adib. Matt, great show, Jimbo. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I think I'll probably leave it there for now. Probably overran the amount of time I wanted to do this for anyway, but I've enjoyed it. It's great to engage with you guys. Come and join us in the Telegram group in the description if you want to continue the conversation for free outside of these live streams. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that sub button for me. Next time I go live, you'll be ready to tune in, and we'll start making the videos a little bit more frequent now and pump it up and see how it goes. Thanks for joining us, guys. Till next time. Bye.